Live from the 607, it's the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour, where we're talking everything movies, TV, comics, and entertainment. Join in the conversation on social media with the hashtag ODPH, because here we go. Welcome back to an all-new edition of the ODPH podcast. What is happening, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us this week. My name is Ken M. Joining me in the studio, as always, whenever we are recording, he is the co-host. He's the man with 1,004 aliases. His name is Padawan J.
Well, let me talk to you.
And it's been a while since we've talked.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Due to a lot of outside interference.
There was a blizzard. There were family emergencies. The weather has gone from 70 degrees to 25 in a week.
Yeah, it's been a little crazy here in the upstate New York region. And unfortunately, scheduling has been a very big challenge, if I can use that word, as far as getting to the show. But fear not, we're not going anywhere. You're still getting episodes via Fanlight Zone, your new destination for comics pop culture. So interviews are always going to be dropping there if we don't get a chance to make the show. And we were fortunate enough we had a good string of interviews dropping. We have more coming too, so you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. But for anything that is the ODPH, if we are going anywhere, we'll let you know, and we'll trust us. The final episode, which will be a very, very long time away, everybody will know when we're wrapping up shop here.
Maybe it'll include the famous segment between Sound Guy Galore JR and Coach Duffy.
You know, we might have to have them run in for it.
Yeah.
So until then, the best place to find out information for the ODPH is where, Pad?
ODPHpodcast.com.
Social media links, TeePublic Store, The Classifieds, which has friends of the show such as 3FM Podcast, Dragon Master Games, and many more. Also a directory. It's been a while, Pad, but how many providers are we on?
828,026.
And your source?
Trust me, bro.
So wherever you listen to the ODPH on, first and foremost, thank you for checking us out. It means the absolute world. You give us your time and your attention. We just can't say thank you enough about that. So leave us a review on your favorite podcatcher. It helps the algorithm of the show. That's what I'm told. Who am I to argue?
Yeah.
The internet says it's true. I got to believe it. So definitely make sure you're letting us know. Hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to everything going on with Fanlight Zone 2, because a lot of exclusive stuff is happening there, which we will be sharing here. But listen, the more people we have promoting that and the ODPH, it's a win-win situation. Enough said. Also, we have a fantastic music section, which has such amazing musicians as Brian Wolf and Howlers, Second Suitor, Tom Jolu, Shout Out the Robots, Floodlands, and we might be adding one more. I have to get some legal clearance.
The I's dotted, T's crossed.
Yeah, so we have to get that worked out. I think everything will be a go, but I don't want to tease it and then not do it. So just say, put the karma out there. There's a great band. I want to make sure we add to the section, but I want to make sure everything's cool that we do.
Lincoln Park.
Well, I do like Lincoln Park.
Listen, if we can get Lincoln Park clearance, ooh, baby.
I mean, listen, if we do that, and trust us, you'll be hearing a lot of that as I open the show. But until then, you're going to be hearing everything that you find in the music section, because they're all fantastic groups, and you should be supporting them as well. So definitely stay tuned for that if we're making any more additions. And anything else, ODPHpodcast.com. And if you're still using hashtags on social media, why not use the hashtag ODPHpod? Why not?
Yeah.
Until then, though, we are going to break down one segment that has gotten our attention. Obviously, we have a lot of things happening in the world of sports. Football, we're still trying to wait to see everything going on in the land of free agency. There's been a lot of big moves.
So if Max Crosby and the Las Vegas Raiders are any indication, don't wait until the ink's dry.
Yeah, exactly. So there could be a lot of moving parts there.
Oh, baby.
So we will be recapping that a little more next week. On the entertainment side, I have the spoiler-free breakdown of the new season of Invincible up on fanlightzone.com.
Saw that. Also saw the news today. Congratulations to the entire team that works on that show. Third straight season it has debuted on Rotten Tomatoes with a critic score of 100%.
As it should.
Woo!
Listen, there's a lot of things to be excited about. So if you want to find out more about that, fanlightzone.com, streaming section. We got the whole review up right now of spoiler-free of the entire season. So you definitely want to make sure you go check that out. But there was a trailer that came out today that we have to give our undivided attention to.
Oh, boy.
It has been one that has had a lot of mystery behind it.
One that's been highly anticipated because, well, we're 135 days as of recording away from the release of this film.
Yes. So, Pad, what are we going to be talking about?
We're going to be talking about the first in this franchise's iteration. First one to do it. Tobey Maguire didn't do it. Andrew Garfield didn't do it. The animated films haven't done it yet. This is the first Spider-Man 4 movie, and it's Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yes, so debuting in theaters on July 31st, 2026 is going to be the next iteration of Peter Parker and his amazing adventures as everybody's favorite neighborhood wall crawler.
Ba, 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 ba.
So this one has had a lot of question marks going on with it. Obviously, coming off the last movie and the ramifications that came from that, which I don't think I need to say spoiler, but No Way Home was not exactly, dare I say, ending on a happy note, if you will.
Not really. Optimistic, sure, because, hey, there was the ending where he had his own homemade suit. He seemed to be going his own way and less techie as the Home series. I saw that phrase today, which I'm like, hey, you know what? The Home trilogy, going with that. Kind of steering away from the tech aspect of things and going more towards what we know and what we're familiar with. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit of optimism, but yeah, in terms of the, hey, things are looking good. He's got the girl. He's got the friends. He's got the outlook of like, hey, he's going to college and he's got a job locked up. Yeah.
But still, it did not end well as he had to reset his own history.
Yeah.
And more or less anybody that knew who he was no longer does.
Allegedly. There's one fan theory I'm kind of semi on board with. We'll get into it.
Yeah, I think I'm with you about which one it's going to be. But either way, it's a hard reset for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. So this is picking up the pieces after that, and obviously going into Avengers Doomsday at the end of the year. Uh-huh. This has got every single MCU fan ready to go back to the theaters and see what they have lined up.
Yeah.
So we are going to be breaking down Spider-Man Brand New Day's trailer number 1. Mm-hmm. If you're new to the ODPH, first and foremost, thank you again for checking us out. We like to give you a spoiler-free statement about what we're going to be talking about. After we give a countdown, you have a choice. Do you stay or do you go? If you stay, you're going to hear spoilers, you're going to hear deep dives, you're going to hear theories, you're going to hear a lot of stuff that could possibly ruin it for you or really enhance your judgment of the trailer. Mm-hmm. Either way, it's in your hands. We take it out of ours and let you decide. So if you want to watch the trailer, it's simple. Download this episode and pause it, and then jump back in when we start breaking down spoilers and compare theories and hit us up on the social media. That's how it works. Mm-hmm. So you have to make that choice. But in the meantime, though, Pad, we have to break down the return of Tom Holland's Zendaya and all the craziness that goes on in the world of Peter Parker in the MCU. So let's give a spoiler-free statement on Brand New Day.
Trailer was good. Didn't give you a whole lot to go on other than just the general tone I guess the film is going to have. Interested to see it just because it looked like there's a lot going on in this film. People thought and might have complained about how much was going on for No Way Home. This feels like it has even more going on, but I like it. It's not necessarily hey, all of a sudden the Sinister Six is here and they're here to kick his butt. And it feels like kind of a natural progression of, it feels like this film is going to take place over the course of several weeks, instead of maybe like a couple days. So if that ends up being the case of like, hey, that makes sense, where he doesn't just deal with one villain for several weeks. No, he's dealing with, several villains for several weeks. I liked it. I enjoyed what we saw. I enjoyed the fact that I don't fully know what's going on, because that's one of my gripes with movie trailers, not just this year, but the last couple decades, where you watch a trailer or you see a couple trailers, and by the time you're going into it, you're like, yeah, I know what's going to happen in this movie. So the fact that we don't have a full, understanding of what's going on, I dig. The only thing I didn't like with the release of this trailer was the marketing campaign, if you want to call it that. They were doing the day prior, or in the last couple of days, where like they were releasing 2-second snippets saying like, hey, the trailer's coming. Like, if you're gonna do a 30-second like, hey, teaser trailer coming tomorrow, okay, fine, I get that. But releasing 2-second snippets from random points in the trailer, not a fan of that.
So this one, I'm kind of wait and seeing. Uh-huh. There are certain things I saw in this, being an avid comic fan, I liked. Uh-huh. And there's certain things I went, oh no. Uh-huh. And I think that's just being very honest with this, because we don't know the direction they're going in.
Right.
We know there's a new director in Destin Daniel Cretton,
who is the gentleman who wrote Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Worked on that one, so he's got some experience with the MCU.
Right.
Also, an executive producer on Wonder Man.
And Wonder Man was phenomenal too. Mm-hmm. A lot of good things to say about that. So I feel very good about this going in. However, with the source material that was displayed, and granted, we don't know if this is the final cut.
Right.
They might have just thrown something together just to throw everybody off.
Not the first time.
It's not the first time, so I could definitely see it happening.
Yeah.
The only thing we know that was confirmed that we did see was certain MCU alumni come back for this. There's two very well-known characters that
we've known for a while.
That we've known for a while, so I don't think it's a spoiler. And I could say it. John Bernthal is
Punisher.
back as Frank Castle.
Yep.
And Mark Ruffalo is back as Dr. Bruce Banner.
Yep.
That being said, he still has most of his supporting cast in, with Zendaya back as Mary Jane Watson and Jacob Batalon as Ned Leeds. So we do know about that. There are some other cast members that we kind of saw that were teased. We also did not see certain other names that have been attached to this film. But we will get into that in the spoiler section. But going off this alone, I would say I'm kind of in the middle about how I feel about this.
Sure.
I was excited for some of the comic stuff. And as a comic fan, that's where I always gravitate towards. Too.
Sure.
But trying to piece it all together, I'm not sure where they're going.
Yeah.
And I think that depending on the execution of it, it could be hit or miss.
Right.
Now, am I saying it's going to bomb? Absolutely not.
No.
But I want to have a little more clarity about what they're doing as far as the storyline, because right now it just seems so jumbled that I don't know. I did like it, though.
Right.
But I'm still not like, take my money now.
Right.
In the sense of like, you have a great story behind it. I can't wait to see this. I'm going to go because I'm a Spider-Man fan.
Right.
But I don't know. But there was a couple scenes in here that I'm like, oh, don't tell me we're going this route.
Right. Well, and plus the thing too is, like you alluded to, we don't know the direction this franchise is going, because we're now into the fourth film, and you think of some of those well-known seminal villains in the Spider-Man mythos. We haven't seen them. We haven't been introduced to them. One is potentially lurking in the background thanks to some antics from Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home, where there was a certain person who showed up at a bar for a couple scenes, and by the end of it left behind a certain part of a symbiote.
Yep.
So you got that going on. You look at what happened in the previous trilogy with what it appeared to be setting up for, that we haven't seen that come to fruition yet. So there's definitely some seeds and definitely some kernels planted, but whether they will bloom and blossom or just kind of get left by the wayside, time will tell.
Absolutely. So that being said, we are going to get into spoiler talk now. So Pad, in 3, 2, 1. Let's really break it down.
Like I said, I enjoyed the trailer. I enjoyed what it teased for us and kind of the hints it gave. Because like I said, this is uncharted territory for the franchise. We've never had a previous iteration enter the fourth film. The one instance they got to 3, and then they planned a 4th, and then it kind of fell apart. But this is the first time we're getting to 4, and it's going to be interesting to see where things go from here, because the stat quo for Spider-Man in this universe has changed. And it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Are they going to go with a more grounded feel that you're used to in the comics? That's what it appears to be. That's not to say there won't be some sort of hint or inkling by the end of the film at the larger goings on for the MCU because of what's coming down the road at the end of the year. But for right now, if we get a more grounded street level Spider-Man movie that isn't necessarily like, hey, we got to go save the universe, I'm all right with that.
I think this was solid for what it needed to be.
Yeah.
But I'm not fully sold on the overall product.
We'll say, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the first trailer we've gotten for this film, period.
Yes. No, completely.
We're less than 6 months away, and we just got the first trailer.
Right. So there's a lot of hype behind this. I think the diehard MCU fans are losing their minds about this.
Oh, yeah.
Which I would always say, pump the brakes. We don't really know per se, other than you're happy to see Tom Holland back as Peter Parker, and that's great. Listen, I'm not going to say somebody's wrong for being excited about this, but the only thing that gives me a lot of pause is there is a scene in here that they're referring to Metamorphosis, the 3 phases, and if you know anything about the Spider-Man comics,
or you've seen the Spider-Man animated series,
yeah, this is a messy storyline, and one that I'm going, okay. If you try doing this, one of two things is going to happen. Either the pop culture audience, which we have to remember these movies cater to,
right,
is going to get turned off and go, what the hell are we watching?
Right.
Or they're going to be like, oh, this is kind of interesting. But then what's the lasting effects from it?
Right.
And that's the part that I'm like, okay, I don't know how this is going to play out.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, but
Right.
there's so much uncertainty with it.
I don't know if they're going to go full tilt into that. I definitely think they're going to borrow from it just for the story purposes.
Right. And that's fair.
But are they going to do a full 1-to-1 retelling? I don't think so.
See, I don't know. But the problem is that I'm be careful with how the reaction is to this.
Right.
I almost had Batman Superman vibes to this.
Okay.
Just for the simple fact of I feel as this initial watch, they're mashing too much stuff together.
Sure.
And I think that when you're trying to put on too many hats, they're all going to fall off.
Sure.
That was my initial reaction seeing a lot of the scenes we did here.
Sure.
So now, depending on which ones are real and which ones aren't, because I still think that this is a lot of smoke and mirrors,
Oh, I do too.
then it's all going to depend on how it plays out here.
I agree with you. There felt like there was a lot going on in this trailer, and I think normally that would be a cause for concern for me. But I looked up who the writers are for this film, and besides Stanley, who gets a writing credit for this film, the two writers are one gentleman by the name of Chris McKenna, who, if you go to his IMDb page, is known for being a writer on Spider-Man: Homecoming, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and Spider-Man: No Way Home. And then the other one is another gentleman by the name of Eric Summers, who also had a writing credit for Spider-Man: Homecoming, Spider-Man: Far From Home, and Spider-Man: No Way Home. So if this were a case of like it was somebody different who like
Right.
I'm looking at their four credits and none of them are Spider-Man, I'm like, okay, this is a different chef in the kitchen. I might be ordering the same meal, but is it going to taste the same?
Yeah.
And I'd be skeptical. At least in this instance, I'm like, okay, this is somebody who's had a hand in the recipe, had a hand on the menu. It should taste the same. Will it necessarily execute? Time will tell.
Yeah, that's what we have to watch and see. But going into the trailer, it opens on a very safe note. And I don't think there's anything wrong in saying that.
No.
But I think when you have Peter Parker on the edge,
Yep.
kind of overlooking the city, looking at his phone and
Yep.
seeing MJ is super happy.
Well, it's on like TikTok or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the social media age, and this is a moment where, too, he's
also hanging upside down.
Yeah, which, I mean, listen, you got to have a little Spider-Man moment in here. And
Yeah.
I will say, as we get into the trailer a little more, there's a lot that reflects the past artists that have worked on Spider-Man. So when you see him and he's dangling from the beam and he's watching the video, and then he does the massive fall off,
Yep.
that's where it kind of is interesting. And I like how they did the one shot of him looking through the mask.
I was going to say that cinematography, fantastic.
Yeah, that was a dope scene.
I don't know who thought of that. Kudos to that person.
Exactly. Then music kicks in, and then you start seeing him. He's doing his reflection. My name is Peter Parker. And you see him at a cafe, and he runs by Ned Leeds, and it's an awkward situation because he's kind of monologuing
A letter he wrote.
Yeah,
because there's a shot you see as he's monologuing this, and while he's in the cafe, but he's holding this sheet of paper. It's notebook paper, and it looks like this is a letter he's written to Ned and or MJ.
Yeah,
that he wants to tell him, he wants to reestablish that friendship, because for all intents and purposes, it looks like in this film, or at least from what we've seen, he's alone. He's got nobody. He's got no friends. He's got no family. Obviously, nobody knows who he is. So he is literally in a city of like, how many people are in New York? Like 7 million people.
Oh yeah.
Just in Manhattan alone. He's in a city with like 7 million people, and nobody knows who he is, and nobody's his friend. So he wants to hey, I want to get some of this back, but I don't have the courage to tell them.
Well, that's the whole thing, because in dealing with the promise he made and the spells and all that jazz, there's serious ramifications if he does.
Yep.
And they've explained this in the comics. I mean, that's why we have a whole storyline called, Omit and the nonsense going on with that. I'm sorry, that's not one of my favorite Spider-Man stories. I am not shy about saying that. The fact Mephisto ruined MJ and Peter's marriage, FOH, if you know what I mean. That's all I'm going to say with that. F out of here if you're not sure. So regardless, we keep going with the trailer. And one thing I like that they did is they showed the Spider-Man suit in the washing machine.
Yeah.
And this is a very classic moment of Spider-Man where obviously he's doing the more grounded approach. This isn't the Iron Spider suit that he gets. And I like how they do this.
If you read the first iteration of Ultimate Spider-Man, not the one that just finished, but the one that started back in the early 2000s with Brian Michael Bendis writing. You saw this a lot with that iteration where, yeah, he had the suit, but it often got destroyed, and Mary Jane had to repair it like weekly.
Yeah. So we go see that MJ and Ned are watching on the screen. Spider-Man receives the key to the city.
Spoilers for Daredevil Season 2.
Yeah, so kind of interesting how that plays out. But he's also talking about, what he had to do and make everybody forget about him. So you are seeing that loneliness come in. He's got the key to the city, and he's just kind of doing his self-wallowing. That's typical Peter Parker. I'm not mad about that.
Yeah.
And then we see him running into action, jumping off a building. And like I say, the action about him swinging the web, you're seeing a lot of influence from that Todd McFarlane era. You're seeing a lot from the great artists that have worked on Peter Parker throughout the year. So I love seeing that, which we're seeing more homages to, as it rightfully should be.
Saw a lot on Threads today about that.
Yeah. Well, and rightfully so. Like I say, I love when they capture that. And McFarlane's work on Spider-Man has revolutionized how we look at him swinging webs.
Yeah.
So huge stuff there. Then you get a shot of him swinging in the city. He's getting shot at. And then probably one of the more funny moments, even though it's kind of weird saying this involving the character, you see him get hit by a battle van. Yeah. And you're probably saying, battle van? What is that? That is the van that is often associated with one Frank Castle, played by the one and only John Bernthal, who's reprising the role. And we see him run over Spider-Man. Now, if anybody doesn't know their history, they're not exactly BFFs.
No.
Punisher debuted in Amazing Spider-Man way back when, was hired to kill him, didn't happen, and then the Punisher has now evolved into the character he is today, which will just kind of sum that up. So we are seeing the great back and forth with him and how they play off each other. And I love how they had Frank just shoot him with the webbing, which that is a Frank move 101.
Yeah.
So I will say this, from what I've seen of this, they are playing into the more, I hate saying zany side.
I'm going to come out of this wanting to see a buddy cop movie with these two.
Right.
I already know it.
But they're playing off it because we see obviously how Frank is with Matt Murdock in the Daredevil series. And that's a little more hardcore. This is a little more safe violence, if I can use that terminology.
Yeah.
But you do see it when he webs up the gun. And he's just telling Peter to quit whimpering, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Suit yourself," and shoots him. That is to the letter of how they do business, because obviously Frank is hunting down this tank that Peter is going after too.
Yep.
So when we're seeing this, it plays out, and then we see a great action shot of him swinging through and kicking Frank out of his own van.
Friggin' love that shot.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Like that
shatters the whole thing, and Frank tells about to swear at him. Peter webs his mouth and he says, "Go home, Frank."
Yeah. So then we get a shot of Peter at a dorm party. He sees MJ. It's awkward as all can be. And, of course, there is now a new suitor in MJ's life. And, Pat, you know a little more about this gentleman?
So the actor is the same gentleman who played Ezra from the Ahsoka series.
Okay.
Which I saw people caught online, which I was like, ooh, I love a good Star Wars connection.
Yes. So we don't know who his character is going to be yet. So we're still waiting to see, but obviously that's enough to break Peter Parker's heart.
Yep.
So you can hear the entire internet, cry with him.
Listen, as long as the character's not named Mark.
Right.
Or
Paul.
Or Paul.
If it's Paul, you'll hear an eruption from here to So Wizard Podcast and back. Trust me.
You might hear me cackling with laughter.
Yeah, you'll hear one of the most angry rants you'll ever hear on this show ever if it is Paul. If they introduce Paul, they are purposely trying to tick off every single comic fan.
Oh,
and I will appreciate the troll job, but I would be so mad.
Listen, they're not together anymore.
Yet.
Yeah.
Just Paul is the worst.
Yeah.
He is the worst. He is literally the worst. He is the century level worst. Anyway, going back to the story, though, the trailer, rather. So Peter... Now, this is where things get off the rails for me a little bit.
Okay.
He goes, "What is happening to me?" You see him sweating profusely. So he's at the party, so then he just passes out.
Presumably, he's had too much to drink. But
Right.
It's Peter Parker and it's Spider-Man.
Right. But then we go to the scene where he's now coming out of a web cocoon.
So it's reverse Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. And he's now falling almost naked into the streets.
Uh-huh.
So when this is happening, I immediately go, okay, we're either doing one of two stories here, and I'm not liking either one. Pad, what was the first one? Because you called it first.
Man Spider.
Yeah, so they're going to do him with 6 arms. And me, I go, oh crap, they're gonna do Moreland and all that nonsense going on about rebirth and obviously what entails with him. And granted, I mean, it was an interesting story done by JMS way back when, but I also go, I don't know how this is going to translate on screen.
If you're not familiar with it, the animated series, which I think is still on Disney Plus, check your local listings. It's specifically season 2, episode 8, titled Neogenic Nightmare, chapter 8, Duel of the Hunters.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'm pretty sure in the States it's still on Disney Plus, but if not, check your local listings.
Yeah, so it will be interesting to see if they do that. If they did that, I would not be exactly mad at him.
Sure.
But at the same time, I'm like, at least it's better than Moreland.
Yeah.
Because Moreland I don't want to see because it is just, no. It'll get weird. Obviously, if you're not familiar, he is a vampire.
Yeah.
Who has a very big beef with Spider-Man.
Just did a run with him recently in the Spider-Man 94 comic.
Yeah. And anytime,
which was a good comic.
It's a good comic, yeah. But I'm just saying to see how they're going to play this out. I'm like, I'm wondering if they do the eye scene, and I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, listen, I'm being honest. The minute I saw that, I'm going, they might try doing Moreland, and that's going to be messy.
Yeah, could be.
Which, I mean, which he was created by JMS and John Romita Jr. back in the Volume 2, if you believe it, of Amazing Spider-Man, because Marvel reasons. So it's been a while since we have seen him around, and he's been gone since 2001, that was like his heyday, if you will.
Right.
But he has not really stayed around forever in great memories, shall we say.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really keep it because I don't want to go off about it just because, not the greatest storyline with him doing the rebirth thing. I just always kind of... But I think they tease it enough, which I don't like about this. That's because I don't know how that's going to translate to pop culture. The casual MCU fans are not going to like it.
Right.
But then we go to a shot of him getting his DNA read. He's somebody's doing tests on him. Now,
and at this point, the voiceover, I believe, from Keith David comes in. Some folks are saying it's Jeffrey Wright. Folks, that is not Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah.
That's Keith David.
Yeah. So seeing this, we do see a scene where you see young Peter Parker approach a certain doctor of gamma radiation. Pat, who does he run into?
That would be Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Human Bruce Banner.
Yes. So Mark Ruffalo is now reprising the role as Bruce Banner. We don't see the Green Goliath, known as the Hulk. So obviously we have not really seen or heard too much of him after Avengers Endgame. So the fact that he is back like this, interesting.
Well, he was back wasn't he back like that for the She-Hulk series?
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, so it's he's got it better under control, I think was what the explanation was.
Yeah.
They didn't really go into too much detail.
Yeah, it's been, like I say, I have to do a rewatch of that because it's been a while since I've dived back into the MCU for this.
Yeah.
But seeing him like this, it did give me a moment where I did kind of smile a little bit. Now, granted, the Hulk's relationship, and note how I word that, the Hulk's relationship with Spider-Man is a very unique one. And it's one of the more friendly moments, too, and especially in the comics continuing.
Yeah.
You know that Hulk remembers Peter as Spider-Man.
Yep.
Not Banner.
Yep.
But Hulk remembers.
Yep.
So I think they're going to do that scene on here, which will be great.
Right, because I think as far as the movie continuity has been to this point, I don't think and again, it's been a while since I've seen some of the movies. I don't think we've had a one-on-one interaction with these two characters before. And if we have, I don't think Banner Hulk, whatever you want to call that incarnation we saw in Endgame, especially Endgame because Peter wasn't in half of it. But we've never seen that version of Bruce call Spider-Man Peter.
Yeah.
So he might not have even known, but Hulk presumably did.
Right. So it's going to be a tricky scenario, but like I say, if they did meet up, it's not memorable.
They'll explain it.
But they will. So like I say, we have faith in that.
Yeah.
Then we go to a shot where we see water dripping from a faucet. And then that kind of messes with Peter Parker's head. And then we kind of get a little jumbling around with Banner's narration that, messing with DNA is just going to be trouble. So then we get a quick shot of Peter messing with his powers and flying through the city, crashing through stuff because he's losing control. A shot of him at MJ or May
Parker's.
Yep, I was going to say. at Aunt May's grave, kissing it goodbye, and then you're hearing about the narration of 3 cycles of Spider.
Yep.
And then we get a shot of him finally catching up to that tank, and he opens it up, and he sees, well, somebody inside, Pad, and it's a very normal person.
Yep.
And
presumably.
Yes, and then you're seeing a possession going around with a guard that's there. So somebody is now randomly possessing people.
Well, I think it's one person controlling the person in the tank, and you see their head jerk to the left, and all of a sudden the camera goes to the guard. And people are getting confused by this scene I've seen online. So the person in the tank jerks their head to the left, and the person in the guard or whatever their role is, their head jerks from the right to the left in the same motion that person's head jerked.
Yeah.
And you can almost see in a very quick shot, because Peter follows what's going on somehow. And the person, the guard with the assault rifle, gives a little grin in Peter's direction and then jerks their head up. Whereas the person in the walkway above jerks their head down and then back up. So whoever's possessing these people is jumping from one to the next to the next.
Yeah. So
who it is, don't know.
I don't know. There's a couple different possibilities,
Yeah.
so I can't say like one or two.
Yeah.
Because it could go any different way. And that's the one weird thing that's happening. Could it be somebody that has mind control?
Could be.
Just saying. So then we start jumping around a little bit, and more of Peter kind of adapting to life, being this new version of Spider-Man. We do see a silhouette of somebody staring what appears at a computer screen. It could be Peter.
I'm saying it's Screwball.
You've been going on this theory, so break it down for us here.
Well, Screwball, for those of you who played the recent video games from Insomniac Games, are familiar with Screwball. But Screwball is a person that likes to live stream things, which, hey, real popular these days. But likes to issue challenges and likes to really mess with Peter on a global scale, live streaming everything. To me, it looks like a live stream setup of some sort, because you've got several computers in the front. The person looking, they're very far back from the computer. Now, could they be pontificating and dancing and my grand plans are coming to fruition? Sure. But I think with just everything going on around the computer, it looks like some sort of live streaming setup.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. That's an interesting theory.
Uh-huh.
I honestly don't know, because there was a shot of when Peter passed out, and there was webs all over there.
Right.
That could be there too. So he could be testing something out. So we don't know. Like,
could be an at-home science kit.
Yeah, it could be, or it could be Ben Reilly that they might just try putting in there just to make me just go completely angry,
just to piss you off.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I'm throwing that karma out there because reasons. Then we get a shot of a familiar face who's now coming back, and that's Michael Mando. So we see him now coming back as
Scorpion
Max Gargan. So he's in his full Scorpion suit, which
looked cool.
Yeah, for the brief moment we saw him, it looked great. So listen, I'm not mad about this. It's classic villain coming in. So it teases at Sinister Six, which they've alluded to many times
for 3 films now.
Yeah, which
over the course of 20 years.
I mean, it's Sony's love affair. That's what they've wanted to do that for so long.
No, they really have. They set up for it in the original Tobey Maguire franchise, and then they were trying to set up for it in a different form in the Andrew Garfield franchise. And then now they're setting it up for the Tom Holland franchise. And I know there was at least one iteration, I want to say, during the Tom Holland films or the Andrew Garfield films, they were looking at setting it up and doing it without Peter Parker, which I'm like, okay, the one thing that holds them all together is they all hate Peter Parker. Why? How? So Sony, as you alluded to, has had a love affair and just a wanton desire to do this for literally 2 decades.
Right, but to do that,
if you do it right, it can be done well.
Sure.
They did it very well in the Insomniac video game.
Right, but they would have to almost copy that game for live action to pull it off. No, I agree with you. If you do it well, it's going to be legendary. Listen, my opinion, they have not exactly batted 1,000.
You're not wrong.
In dealing with Spider-Man.
I don't trust Sony.
No, and I don't think anybody is clamoring for that, because to do that, what lineup do you go with?
Right.
And then that becomes a debatable one.
You're missing some key figures from the classic lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you're opening Pandora's box for that.
Yeah.
Granted, it's a nice dream,
sure,
but let it stay a dream.
Sure.
Then we get a little more shot of John Bernthal yelling at Peter Parker, because why not? His face-off between Spider-Man and MJ on a rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that play out? And then you get a little more action of him trying to stop this tank. Then we get to the bus scene, which there is a lot of...
Capital, bold, italicized, underlined, lot.
Yeah, a lot of questions concerning this moment because somebody in the bus has hair
It looks familiar.
that looks very familiar to a certain X-Man.
Would have a certain accent.
Yes. So, like I said,
Sugar.
yes, the X-woman known as Rogue, I should say. I don't think it's her.
Listen, I don't think Rogue would subject herself to being a Jets fan.
This is true.
That's all I'm going to say.
No, I just think this is just a coincidental moment.
Could be.
That I think fans want to just run with.
I'll say, well, let's not forget there was the moment in the first Avengers movie where everyone was convinced that the woman from the restaurant that Captain America ended up saving was going to have some grand master future in the MCU.
Yes.
We're how many years removed, and that still hasn't come to pass.
Yeah, this is true. So, like I say, but if it's Rogue, I'd be happy. But I don't think it is. I just think
Could it be a backdoor entrance for Rogue? Maybe.
See, I think everybody is clamoring to this idea because of Sadie Sink's character.
Right.
And granted, it would be a fun introduction.
We're going to get spoiled who Sadie Sink is because of the toy releases.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. So
Marvel and Sony are doing an immaculate job keeping hidden what Sadie Sink's role in this film is. Well, we're not even at the end of the trailer. I'm going to spoil it for you. We don't see Sadie Sink in this trailer.
Right.
At least we don't see her face.
Right.
We don't know who she's playing. We're probably not going to officially know who she's playing until the film comes out. But you know what's going to happen because it happens every single time with some of these major film releases? The toys are going to come out because they got to get them out ahead of the film release so that the kids, go to the movie. Oh, I want that toy. Mom and Dad go and buy it for them. We're going to get it spoiled because of a leak from the toy release.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. But we'll get another trailer out between now and then. That's when you'll have the reveal. Because what's going to happen, I feel, is they're going to now go a little more intently on hyping it up.
Sure.
That they're going to make an announcement, maybe with some casting news for some other MCU projects.
Could be.
That's when it's going to come out. So I think for right now, for everybody thinking, she's playing Jean Grey or she's playing Rachel Summers, pump the brakes. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I mean, you can speculate all you want, but I don't think it's the truth, though. But we'll have to wait to see. But either way, Peter is getting smashed against a bus window.
Yeah.
Then you see the iconic shot.
Oh, yeah. Several.
Amazing Fantasy 15. The cover of covers, him carrying a villain across the skyline. Oh, just the classic moment. Then you get the Todd McFarlane shot. And in this shot, there is somebody flying up behind Peter.
Uh-huh.
And to me, that looks a hell of a lot like Boomerang.
I thought the same thing. Was recently, if I'm not mistaken, a roommate of Peter Parker's.
Yeah. So
in the comics, I mean.
Right. So I fully think that could be him.
That could be part of the storyline in the movie.
Yeah, we don't know. Maybe
rent in New York is expensive.
Yeah, maybe that's MJ's boyfriend.
Ooh.
That we don't know. Like, that would make sense.
That'd be wild.
It would be wild, but it's going to be something that.
Yeah.
So like I say, we have more narration going on too to hype it up. And then you get another classic villain.
Yeah.
Sliding through, trying to kick Peter with spiked toes. So, I mean, seeing Tarantula show up, that's, that is a cool thing. Yeah. I don't know how that's going to play out.
It's probably going to be like some sort of montage of like what he's been doing. Because I imagine some time has passed from the end of the previous film to this one.
Yeah.
So I would imagine there at some point in the movie, there's going to be like some sort of montage of what he's been up to during this time.
Right. So, I mean, to throw everybody in there, and I think that's what they're doing too, because it's almost like that scene from Fantastic Four First Steps where Reed takes out his entire rogues gallery and you hear all the names dropped and you're like, well, that just...
Well, and it's one of those fun moments for fans of the comics that Spider-Man's been around for how many years at this point? It's just a fun little Easter egg nod to longtime readers that like, hey, this person finally made an appearance in a film.
Yeah. So, I mean,
we've wanted an interaction between Frank Castle and Spider-Man for how many years now in the movies, and we're finally getting it? Like, hey, it makes sense.
Oh, absolutely makes sense. So, like I say, see these moments and their iconic covers getting reintroduced. Then we get a shot, though, and this is, like I say, you can tell by the sound of my voice. What are we doing here? Peter is in a jail of some sort. And standing in front of him is a certain ninja clan. And this is not any ordinary ninja clan. Pat, who is this?
It's the Hand.
It's the Hand. Most associated with Elektra, Daredevil, Wolverine. So we're seeing him block a stabbing attack, even though they do show the shot of his eyes turning pitch black.
Yep.
So I'm, like I say, I'm more fearful we are getting Man Spider
Probably
out of that, or he's
probably
going moral in here. But either way, so we get the shot of him facing off against the ninjas.
Yep.
And seeing this, it's a great action sequence. We get another iconic shot of him flying. This reminds me of a Jai Lee cover.
Yeah.
Flying right into the ninjas coming after him.
I'm also convinced he's not the only one in this.
Oh, I don't think so.
And I know I'm not the first person to say this. It's been a very wide topic of speculation today. I'm also convinced he's not the only one in this frame. That it's much like the way the last film was, where everyone was like, "Hey, Lizard's face goes kicking sideways, and Tom Holland isn't anywhere near him." That, like, you look at just the trajectory some of these hand soldiers are going in the air. Either they failed spectacularly at jumping, or there's somebody else or someone else, like multiple people in this frame, and that's what I'm willing to bet.
Oh, I fully bank on that too.
Because let's not forget, who did he meet in the prior film at the start of the movie? Go ahead, who? He met Matt Murdock.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, he met Matt Murdock. Who's he meeting and interacting with in this film? Frank Castle. Who's got a close relationship, even if they don't want to admit it? Frank Castle and Matt Murdock. Who's got a close association with the Hand? Matt Murdock. Who does Matt Murdock play? Daredevil. Is it reasonable to presume that Daredevil's going to show up in this film in some capacity? I don't think so. Especially, hey, what comes out before this season or this movie drops? Daredevil season 2?
Yeah, they'll be out next week.
I'm just saying.
No, you know what I'll go with? Because I just feel like setting the internet on fire. It's Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are friends. I mean, granted.
No, they are.
Except for one storyline in Ultimate Spider-Man. It's a very friendly situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that being said, that's the first iteration of Ultimate Spider-Man 2, by the way.
Right.
I could see that happening because Wolverine going crazy on the Hand is...
Makes sense.
Yeah, give me my money now.
Yeah.
I would say the Daredevil theory I could see happening too.
Sure.
But it also depends on what happens in Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
True.
So I don't necessarily know if it would be him. It's a great guess, though. Like I say, if it happens, I'm not saying you're wrong, Pat.
Right.
But I think, though, they would switch it up with somebody else. Now,
Could be.
Could this be the return of Iron Fist?
I mean, I've also seen some speculation that this is all a red herring, that Peter's not actually in this shot, and it's someone else.
I mean, it could be. I wouldn't doubt it's Venom.
That could be.
Just to throw it out there, because
the symbiote is in this universe.
Yeah, so we're going to see that happen at some point. Now, maybe that's when his eyes turn black.
Could be.
That he was taking over. I don't, like I say, there's a lot of question marks going on with this, but it's enough that it teases enough that you can be excited about as a fan.
Yeah.
So, like I say, and then we obviously get the credits pop up.
Yeah.
It's a nice, moment to leave on, and then you get MJ giving a party shot at the at the gathering and refers to him as, "Oh, you're my new neighbor." He's like, "I'm the neighbor across the hall." "Oh, a friendly neighbor." And he starts laughing because obviously it's a tip to his moniker of being your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yep.
And that's how it ends. So looking back on this, we got enough of Frank Castle. We know what's going on. So he's not going to be a major part of the film. He will be involved, but I don't think he's going to be in every single aspect of this. The Mark Ruffalo cameo is just to enhance whatever is going on with his...
It's the sciencey portion.
Yep. We did not see Marvin Jones III as Tombstone.
True.
That will be coming. We do know he's cast in the film.
Yep.
Sadie Sink, like we touched upon, we don't know who she's playing.
Still don't know.
No, so like I say, it could be Rachel Summers. I mean, that's
I'm throwing out a wild stretch. Gwen Stacy. I'm going to throw that out there. Love triangle. Get it going.
I'm sorry. I am Team MJ all day. I do not like the character of Gwen Stacy. Albeit Ghost Spider, I do like.
Sure.
But not the original one, though. But yeah, like I say, so we don't really know where a lot of the names that have been tagged to this movie are going yet.
Yeah, the cast list on IMDb is only 12 names long.
Right, so they're keeping everything very close to the chest, which I'm okay with. I'm not mad about this.
Yeah.
I am more curious about where this is all going storyline-wise, because unless that whole montage that we saw about Tarantula and Boomerang and the Hand are all tying together.
Right.
Which, listen, if that's the case, I'm all right with.
Could be.
Then, then it'll make for a very entertaining film. But until we really know exactly what's going on with that, it's hard to say just yet. So, but there's enough to be excited about, except, like I say, if you're going to focus on the metamorphosis of Spider-Man, you're dealing with Moreland, you're dealing with that kind of nonsense. I'll be very honest. I don't, much like how when Kang was coming to movies, I said it's a great character. I don't know how it's going to translate to pop culture. I still feel that same way if this is Moreland, because obviously Mr. Negative has been heavily rumored with us. Tombstone would have made a great, I mean, especially what they've been doing with the comics lately. He'd been a great centerpiece for this.
Right.
They just have so many moving parts. I just hope that they just have a clear, straight line to walk everybody through this, because there is so much pressure on this film to do blockbuster numbers, and I think it's unfair to a degree.
Right.
But it's also the state of the MCU, whether you want to admit it or not. They need to have a monster 2026. Granted, Wonder Man was a great film or a great show. I mean, like I say, but we don't know his future in the MCU. Right. Is he going to be coming back in Doomsday? We don't know.
Right.
We know that this is now going to be the last film until we get to Doomsday. And Doomsday is the hard reset of everything.
Well, it's the start of the hard reset.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Secret Wars is coming after. So.
Yeah, well,
that's the reset.
Well, that's going to be the reset. But with Doom coming in, now you have all the X-Men characters coming in. You now have the Fantastic Four coming in as well.
Yep.
Like I say, we've had enough of those 1-minute trailers to tease about what's coming out next. So
Lord have mercy.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But I feel as though Spider-Man Brand New Day needs to really knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
I think unfortunately for them, they just don't have any room for error.
No, I think they're going to do well with it. I think they're going to keep a fairly street level. It's not going to get super crazy with multiverse and galactic level threats. They're going to keep it relatively low key. I don't think we're going to be bringing Moreland in. I think they're going to keep it to the Man Spider storyline you see in the animated series, which for that one, Kraven is ultimately the one who hunts him down. Spoiler alert, but hey, the episode came out, in the 90s, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything.
No, I don't think so either.
But do I think we're going to see Aaron Taylor Johnson from that Sony movie show up? No, I think they're going to just fill the role of Kraven from that storyline with Frank Castle, because like you alluded to, what was the reason Frank Castle was first introduced in the comics, Spider-Man comics, to do? Hunt down Spider-Man.
Yeah, Jackal hired him, I think.
Yeah, so I think it'll just be a case of, it was Kraven in the animated series that hunted down Man Spider. In this instance, it'll be Frank.
Yeah, so, I mean, we'll have to wait to see how it plays out. I think the fact that they know each other, I don't think they're going to go that route.
Okay.
That would be the only thing I would say with that.
Okay.
Not meaning anything against your idea, because I think it's possible. I mean, that's the whole thing. I could be wrong about this.
Right.
Because we just don't know exactly how this is going to play out. There's so many moving parts with this.
Yeah.
It's enough for us to be excited as fans to see Tom Holland's back. I would have loved to see more of a tease of Miles Morales taking over.
Sure.
I think we're going to get that in some aspects. At least the groundwork started in this movie.
Could be.
But I think for overall Brand New Day is a whole new ball of wax that we're going to have to wait to see how this plays out, because after this, the movie is coming out right around San Diego Comic-Con too.
Give or take a couple weeks, but yeah.
And then obviously the hype there. Are we getting a Hall H this year? We don't know.
Don't know, yeah.
This is going to be a big pace setter for the rest of the year, because with Doomsday coming out,
right,
Marvel's going all in.
Presumably the Doomsday trailer will be in front of this movie.
Yes. So
if it doesn't come out sooner.
Oh, I think it's going to debut at Hall H. I think if I was going to predict anything, I think they would debut it at Hall H and then do it right at the movie the following week.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I would do. I mean, if I'm Marvel marketing, that's what I think would be the smart play.
Yeah.
Because you think when they do the Hall H moments, those are the iconic memories
That's
that we
the
all
reason
make.
People line up for 3 days.
Yeah. So I think if you're doing that, it makes more business sense to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to come back with something. And I'm not saying like, okay, well, DC's just running away with things. No, but DC has a lot of momentum right now because of how well Superman was received.
Right.
As much as we liked the Fantastic Four movie,
yeah,
it was too close to that Superman movie. They needed to space it out more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it didn't do as much. I mean, it still did well at the box office, but it wasn't, the MCU is back per se.
Yeah.
So I think that this needs to really be something to get fans excited for going into Doomsday. Like, that's the thing. This can't fail. Like, if they drop the ball and, like, let's say they do Man Spider and have a Morbius cameo,
Right.
I don't know how that would go over.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, but until then, though, Pat, final thoughts on the trailer?
Good trailer. I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm excited to see where things go, and it's got me interested in the MCU again. I've been kind of down on the MCU lately. Not necessarily like writing them off like, oh, I'm over the MCU, but like, really hasn't been high on my priority list lately, and this has kind of reinvigorated my excitement for it.
As the comic fan, I'm excited. As the pop culture fan, I'm still on the fence of what I think.
Sure.
If this is all a dream sequence or a quick recap with him fighting all those random villains, I'm okay with that. Just make sure when we hit the story, we hit it with something that's going to connect Spider-Man back to the fans. Because I think after doing the hard reset with No Way Home, as great as that movie was, that ending became a little problematic because now you've forced him to do a reset, and then fans are going to wait to see what happens when they all come back together.
Right.
They don't really have a lot of room for error to mess this up. And not saying they would, because I think with the writing team involved, they know what's at stake. But with how DC has been rocking and rolling, this is now the pace setter to get to Doomsday. They need to knock this out of the park. Will they? Time will tell. But in the meantime, though, there's enough to be excited about. I'm not going to sit on a rooftop and give you a fake, this is a 10. This is, the MCU is
it's
back.
Solid.
It's solid.
Yeah.
It's a very solid trailer. It'll get you excited for certain comic nods. But as for the overall picture, it's still a little blurry.
Yeah.
But we'll have to kind of wipe the webs away and see what we got. That being said, hit us up on the hashtag ODPHpod. Spider-Man Brand New Day. The trailer is out. What is your reaction? Hit us up. Let us know. We're going to get a quick break. We'll be right back.
You ever wondered what comics Mark from Balaam is into? What Zach from Left Behind's favorite MCU movies are? Well, Metalcore Nerds is the show for you. My name is Sean Mott, and here at Metalcore Nerds, we cover the latest things in pop culture, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, DC, AEW, and everything else in between. You can listen to the show every Monday on Adobe Howl at 7 p.m. Eastern, or find it anywhere you find podcasts after it debuts on the radio station.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder, and you better listen to the ODPH podcast, or I'm coming for you, and Batman is coming for you.
Coming back for the final segment on this edition of the ODPH podcast. Pad, what you got?
I got just one thing to talk about, because I forgot that they were doing this until they decided to drop some casting announcements today. And that is Netflix is doing a live-action Scooby Doo series.
Really?
Now, yeah, apparently. Now, who's writing, directing, all that nonsense? Don't know. But they did do some rather important announcing, and that's for who's playing the cast for some of the main characters. So Fred, Shaggy, Velma, and Daphne. Playing the role of Fred Jones will be an actor by the name of Maxwell Jenkins, who you might not know the name, but you might know some of the stuff he's been in. Probably best known for being Will Robinson in the Netflix series from back in 2018 through 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yep, was in that one. So he's playing Fred. Playing the role of Shaggy is a actor by the name of Tanner Hagen. He's probably best known for, he was in one episode of The Pit, and then he was also in Lawman Bass Reeves. And then he was in a couple other short films. Playing the role of Velma is going to be an actress by the name of Abby Ryder Fortson. Best known for being in the film Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. Rated, just the name of the thing, was Cassie in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then was also in 4 episodes of The Pit. So definitely got that going on. And then also missed this news apparently though. Back in February, it was announced that playing the role of Daphne Blake, McKenna Grace.
Okay.
You might know from Scream 7, Five Nights at Freddy 2. But definitely you look at the headshots of these actors, definitely going on the younger side. 18, 19, maybe early 20s, definitely young in their mystery solving careers. I'm definitely interested in this because the live action films they did in the early 2000s, fantastic movies. Loved, the cartoon from the 60s. And then I also love the pup named Scooby Doo they did in the 80s. So I definitely got a loving relationship with this franchise. I'm interested to see where they go with it. If they go in the same vein like they did with, what is it, Wednesday? The Addams Family series that's on Netflix. I think it'll be good if you keep it in that same kind of vein, but this has got some potential. I'm interested in it.
Yeah, it definitely sounds interesting. I gotta say, like, usually when we go live action, it's kind of like,
It's hit or miss.
But, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Like I say, they've usually had better luck than more
Yeah.
people think.
Yeah.
So definitely have to say that.
Yeah.
All right, so got a couple quick comic news going on, one of which is coming from the world of Todd McFarlane.
Hey.
So getting the press release from the fine folks at Todd McFarlane Productions. We are getting Todd McFarlane is returning to do more artwork within the Spawn universe as all his 4 core titles, Spawn, King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and The Scorched, roll new creative teams this spring. So coming on Spawn 376, writer Matthew Rosenberg and artist Steven Segovia are taking over the title flagship book. Rosenberg is also doing double duty because he is going to be taking over King Spawn with Thomas Nachalik on the art duties. Erica Schultz is going to be working on Gunslinger Spawn starting at issue 54 with Carlo Barbieri returning as the artist. And last but certainly not least, The Scorched 51 is going to see Thomas Healy working with Alessandro Vitti. So these are going to be some very cool things, and especially you're getting more Todd McFarlane artwork. You can't go wrong with that because it's kind of gearing up. They're getting close to issue 400, which as an indie title is amazing. Marvel, I wish you would go back to legacy writing and just get rid of all the number ones. That's just
seriously.
That's a personal thing. I love Marvel, but still. But to see Spawn doing this, they're doing a lot of cool things. And I guess we should kind of tease something. One of these writers is going to be on here.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Very shortly. So make sure you're following Fanlight Zone YouTube so you don't miss who that is. Because we're going to have to ask them about this because they were coming on to talk about another book. But I think they won't get mad if we segue about
Probably
it.
not.
Just saying.
Probably not.
So very cool things going on with Image. The renaissance happening at Image right now.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's amazing. Between the darkness over at Top Cow, Youngblood, Rob Liefeld. Listen, I grew up on that book. Joey from So Wizard Podcast, shout out to Joey, and I will go back and forth about that because we know what we're getting, and god damn it, it's good. Like, listen, if you grew up in that era, you know what you're getting out of that, and it's chef's kiss. But last but certainly not least, we got a little teaser from our folks over at Marvel. Speaking of them, so courtesy of Marvel Comics. Quote, from the showdown with the primal god of adamantium to being tricked to thinking his mother had returned, Wolverine has been put through the ringer.
Literally.
And Salid Ahmed's current run of Wolverine. And soon Logan is going to reach his breaking point literally when his claws are shattered in a way they have never been before. So now this is going to start up in Wolverine 2021 with Julius Ota on the art.
Okay.
And Pat, I have the teaser art for it.
Oh, Lord.
So, okay, now this is something that's kind of, I don't know how this is going to play out. Like, I got to say, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I remember when Wolverine had the adamantium ripped out of his bones.
Right, he was.
Which was one of the wildest scenes I have ever seen in a comic.
Yeah.
So this, I want to see what happens, especially if he is boneless and more unhinged because, I mean, let's face it, Wolverine is crazy as is.
Yep.
Let's see what this plays out. So issue 21, this will be dropping in June, I believe. So June 10th. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I know we'll be covering it at Fanlight Zone. This is something that like you have my interest. I will say, the X-Men line, there's a lot of good stuff there right now. I love Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men. I think that's one of the best books on the market. Inglorious X-Force has got my attention more than I thought it was going to get, so definitely shout out to the team over there. Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant. Listen, they have a lot of good stuff going on. So this will be interesting, especially going in the summer months, because obviously a lot of moving parts happen in there.
Yeah.
But obviously we'll leave on a good note. So Pat, I know you got some picks. It's New Comic Book Day. Let's talk about what you're picking up at the shops this week.
Picking up at the shop, and I'm recommending the issues that I reviewed for Fanlight Zone this week. First of which is Mortal Thor issue number 8 from Al Ewing. Cover art alone is worth the price of admission because, hey, Alex Ross has been on the cover art for this entire series thus far.
Yeah.
That's always worth the price of admission. Description of this one, though: the son of Thor. Magni was the god of strength and strong enough to refuse the rule of the Golden Realm. Yet even so, he could be hurt. For there came a day when two great friends went to battle in a land far from Asgard's light, and only one returned. This is the story of the son of Thor and the day his great heart broke. So definitely it's a departure from what they've been doing in the prior 7 issues. Still interesting to see. Feel like it's going to play a part in whatever they got coming down the road. Definitely want to check that one out. Also should pick up Captain America issue number 8 from Chip Zdarsky. This one is part 3 of the Doom Shadow storyline. So of course, if you're not familiar with what's been going on in Marvel Comics lately, Doom is dead. Latveria is in a literal power vacuum because, hey, it's a lot of interest in what's going on in that place. Description of this one is the hunt for salvation on the road to Armageddon. Captain America has formed an alliance with the Latverian Liberators to put a stop to violent insurgent leader Salvation and his domineering True Latveria army. But Salvation won't back down without a fight, and Steve is determined to bring him to justice, even in the face of resistance from his own team. As allegiances shift, can Steve free Latveria from Salvation's grip once and for all? Close quote. So definitely want to give this one a check out. Fantastic stuff. It's been giving me vibes of Captain America Winter Soldier going on. General Ross is doing General Ross things, which if you know, that's never any good, and it's going to lead to more headaches than you deserve. Should also pick up Amazing Spider-Man issue number 24. This is part 4 of the 9-part Death Spiral storyline. This one's got Joe Kelly and Charles Soule on the writing duties this week. And this one, it says, Carnage meets its match. Death Spiral Part 4. Carnage faces off against Torment, while the serial killer's latest murder leaves the Spidey symbiote alliance shaken. Saw the end of this coming, in that I wasn't totally surprised, but it still was like, ooh, okay, we're doing this already. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. I still don't know where it's going to end up, and that's not a bad thing, but it's just they're kind of keeping it well hidden with how this is going to end up. Lastly, certainly not leastly, oh, baby. Ultimates issue number 22 from Dennis Camp. Captain America versus Red Skull, a.k.a. Bucky. Yeah, that's right, folks. In this Ultimates universe, Red Skull is Bucky Barnes. That's not a spoiler. They revealed it, I believe, in issue 10, which was
it was a while ago.
Which was like a year ago.
Yeah.
It says, Captain America must face the demons of his past and the old friend who has become his darkest enemy. An explosive confrontation amid the global chaos of Endgame. So there's a lot in this issue I think fans are going to love. There's some familiarity with the Cap Bucky storyline, and then there's also the stuff in the present timeline that'll leave you shocked. It left me shocked because, boy howdy, I didn't see that coming, and it's going to be real interesting to see where this goes because I feel like you don't do that and some sort of ramifications don't come out of it. And you'll see what I mean when you read it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, The Ultimates is one of Marvel's best books right now. So, and it's just a shame everything's coming to an end soon.
I know.
Well, depending on what's going to happen. I mean,
Ultimate Endgame's still going.
Yeah, which we know there's going to be some stuff going on in May. They tease.
Yep.
Don't have a lot of information on that, so we're gonna have to wait and see about it. All right. So for me, I won't go over every single one of my books. I think I did 18 reviews this week. So fanlightsone.com, you can catch up on everything. But I will tell you the ones that jumped out to me right now, just top of the head. So DC is now in the aftermath of KO.
Right.
They're doing DC All-In Part 2s, and they're doing DC Next Level. So Next Level is like the new number 1s that are coming out.
Okay.
They dropped 3 this week.
Oh.
So we had Deathstroke the Terminator.
Okay.
So this was Tony Fleeks and Carmine D. Giandomenko, which I apologize if I messed up the last name. I know Slade Wilson is very polarizing.
Yep.
I like the character. I don't like everything that has ever been done with him, especially in the early Teen Titan days. I think that was kind of very left field and was what it was. And I do not condone any of that nonsense. But as far as the character, I think he's very complex in where he goes with his business. And that's one thing I think I really like about the character. Fleeks gives him a very, very interesting first plot.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see where this goes. I thought it was a very solid debut. One to check out. So if you're into that, have you seen him on Arrow? And it kind of has the Manu Bennett vibes a little bit. So I did like that. Lobo number 1, Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. So, I mean, it's Lobo.
Can't go wrong there.
I mean, if you want to taste what Jason Momoa is going to be like, this is going to be the book. Just going to put it out there right now.
Makes sense.
But the number 1 that really jumped out to me, and I was so excited when I heard this writer was coming back to this character, is Batwoman, number 1. So this is Greg Rucka, who co-creator of the character.
Right.
And Donnie's on the art, and just picked up right where it left off. Great first issue. Can't sing enough praises about it. I thought it was dope. So if you really want to find out, the real true side of Kate Kane. Mm-hmm. This is here. This is great. And they're all new reader friendly. That's one thing I really liked about it. So you don't get like a full origin story in each, but you get enough that you can walk around the ballpark and understand everything going on. Right. So love what was going on there. As far as, all in part 2s, I will say the one that really threw me for the largest was Superman Unlimited.
Okay.
So issue number 11, Dan Slott and Lucas Mayer is on the art. And it centers around John Kent.
Okay.
So I know there's a lot going on with Joshua Williamson's adjective-less Superman. But this is focusing on John Kent and his greatest archenemy who he's never met. It gets wild.
I'd have to say so.
And the solicitations are like, you're not ready for what's going to happen. And I will admit, I got to the last page, I was like, wait, what just happened? Yeah, that got a legit reaction out of me. So I will not reveal that because I want you to go to comic shops and go pick this up. But I will say it was one that definitely raised my eyebrows a little bit on this. And then the last one I'll mention on here is G.I. Joe 20, Joshua Williamson, Andrea Melania. Duke meets Optimus Prime. Do I need to say more?
Probably not, no.
So this has been building up, obviously, for years. Duke is finally confronting Optimus. There's a lot of business going down. If you know both characters in the Energon universe, this has been long overdue. Great issue. Probably one of my favorites this week. So definitely a lot to be excited about going on. Energon universe just doesn't miss.
Yeah.
And if you want to find out about more reviews, fanlightzone.com is the place you got to go. Over 30 reviews for this week alone on the site. The hardest working team in comics reviewing does it again. And also make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well because we have exclusive reviews up there too. Plus, we have interviews coming this week too, so stay tuned for that. And for anything else that we might have missed, ODPHpodcast.com will get you everywhere you need to go. That's it for this week. So for the one and only Padawan J.
Thank you.
I'm your host, Ken. Thank you as always. Listen to the ODPH podcast. We'll see you next time.
It's such waste of time, swiping left and swiping right on people you could know. 'Cause anyone who's worth a damn be worth way more than a picture could ever show. You could find the right light, find the right angle, and never find your soul. And it can feel like a losing battle, and this plot is full of holes. This modern way of finding love just makes me feel so alone. And I can't be the only one sick of staring at my phone. So look up, talk to me, a better way to spend our energy. Just look up, talk to me. We don't have to float alone on the open sea. Don't know that I believe in the old time fable. Everyone has just one true love. All I know is you're across this table, and you're all I'm thinking of. So look up, talk to me, a better way to spend our energy. Just look up, talk to me. We don't have to float alone on the open sea. Talk to me. Talk to me. It's such waste of time, swiping left and swiping right on people you could know.